The blue pack is a bit different. The blue pack, you're just going to put exploding pump on 3 guys and then press blind. The champion pack, you're going to put exploding pump on the main guy and the minion that you want to focus and explode the minion. Alright, this is probably a good pack. So I'm going to put exploding pump on 3 guys, and I'm going to only attack this guy on the top. And that explosion just kill all 3. I cannot really make it any slower. My DPS is quite high. If your DPS is not that high, then it's going to do the same amount of damage. As long as you kill 1, and as long as the other guys are close, then the explosion will then take out the entire pack. So that is the blue pack. So hopefully I'm going to find a champion pack. Then I'm going to demonstrate how to kill the champion pack. Then I'm going to tell you some pointers, because there's a lot of things you can do with this build. And just by using the skill does not maximize the potential of this particular speed pump build. You do need quite a bit of practice, but I believe anyone could do it. I'm going to skip some of the monster and see if I can find a champion. It also works with the white monster as well. When you have a whole group of white monster, you want to hit the one looks the largest. Here's another, well, here's 2 pack. So this is a whole mess, but there's no fear. Every monster is very close to you. So I'm going to press my explosion somewhere, and the explosion will then pretty much kill all of them in one go. And that is 2 pack, just by 1 explosion. And that's how powerful the exploding pump is. The 50% on MP10, you can knock down an entire pack. If there's any other pack surrounded, then that pack would be dead as well. I think I may need to restart and find the champion. Okay. Let me just get out of here. Don't think there's any other pack here. Alright, let's see if we can go back and show a quick demonstration on how to kill a champion pack. There's usually a champion here, so if I'm lucky, I will get one. Alright, this is a pretty annoying pack, like the knockback, everything. And there's a whole bunch of them. And you can't really see much, but I put the exploding pump on the main guy, and I'm putting exploding pump on everywhere. Now I have one guy that is quite low on HP, so I'm going to focus now, and then I'm going to press my blind and kill that guy. The explosion took out 2 minions, and the main guy is already down by 50%. I'm not going to touch the main champion. I'm going to kill this guy on the bottom, and then the champion is dead. So don't touch the champion. The champion is usually got the highest HP. If you focus your attack on the champion, then it's going to take you a while, and while that guy explodes, of course the rest is going to explode, but most likely the rest will be dead by your cyclone while you're hitting the champion. So what you do is, instead of doing that, you are going to put exploding pump on the minion and the champion and make the minion explode. Okay, so I have shown you some gameplay. It's difficult for me to show, but I hope you see how powerful this build is. Now I'm going to talk about some pointers. The pointers are important, and They are there for you to get used to this build or get practice and get going. The first step of using this build successfully is to use the combination strike and mantra. Now, this combination strike lasts for 5 seconds. The mantra lasts for 3 seconds. So instead of watching the blue icons that shows when your Wheel of 100 Fists pop, you can just remember every 3 seconds you're going to press your Wheel of 100 Fists first and then your mantra. Always remember to press your mantra every 3 seconds. That is a monk. Like everyone needs to do that to refresh the mantra for the 48%. So before you do the mantra, just remember to press the Wheel of 100 Fists. So every 3 seconds, you press Wheel of 100 Fists mantra. After 3 seconds, Wheel of 100 Fists mantra. That way, you don't need to look at the icons. You just need to remember, press it together. Don't press it separately, press it together. So practice that. That's going to be your first step. Going, mantra is up. Your sweeping wind is up, then Wheel of 100 Fists mantra. 3 seconds afterwards, Wheel of 100 Fists mantra. Wheel of 100 Fists mantra every 3 seconds. That way, you're going to get a constant buff from your Wheel of 100 Fists, your combination strike, and also the additional 24% from your mantra. So that is the way to press the combination strike correctly. And it's an easy way. This is much easier than the Deadly Reach foresight. So that is point number 1, and that is the first step to use the speed pump build successfully. The second step is understanding the use of exploding pump, and I showed that already. In White Monster kill, you want to go in and you want to kill the one with the highest HP. So if you go in and there's a whole bunch of white monster, these are all the same types, so you're just going to put exploding palm on the guy that is almost dead. These monsters die quickly enough, so I'm not going to bother. But say if I progress this particular map and I see a whole bunch of monsters here, I'm going to put exploding palm on the lowest monster, the lowest HP monster, and that guy is going to explode. And the tremor is good. So say there's a whole bunch of skeleton king now, skeleton. So I'm going to put exploding palm on that particular big monster, and he's going to explode. He's got more HP than the small guys, so always put exploding palm on a higher HP monster, and also on the monster that's about to die to make him explode. That is to kill the white monster, and to kill the blue elite, you're going to put exploding palm on all of them, and then wait for the right timing and then pop your blind to make all of them explode. It's okay if you miss one or two, as long as you put the exploding pump on the guy that's almost dead, then the rest will get exploded as well. The third situation will then be the elite pack, the yellow elite pack, and as I showed earlier, instead of focusing your whole attack, whole DPS on the yellow elite, you're going to put the exploding pump on him, and then you're going to put a few exploding pump on the minion and see which minion has got the lowest HP. Pick your target, and then once you're ready, press your blind to burst out a lot of damage and make that minion die. That minion, once that minion dies, he's going to explode and it's going to knock down a whole chunk of HP from the yellow pack, the yellow champion. So that is the correct usage of exploding pump. You do need to practice. It's not that easy to use the exploding pump successfully. You also need to pay attention to your spirits. You do not want to spam your exploding pump on the same guy over and over again. So be precise on which target to use the exploding pump. That is tips number 2. Now tips number 3. Exploding pump mechanic. A lot of people don't know this, but I have done the test. This 50% explosion, you can actually buff that to higher, and that is to use the exploding pump correctly and also to use the mantra, and by using the SOJ as well. I'm going to take this SOJ for example. This SOJ I have is got exploding pump damage, increase exploding pump damage by 12%. I tested it and I find out what this particular skill is, this particular bonus is. This particular bonus does not increase your explosive. It only increases your bleeding damage. So there's always going to be a bleeding damage. The exploding pumps will trigger a bleed for 745 weapon damage. This will increase that by 12%. This does not increase the explosion, but that 30% damage against elite actually applies to the explosion. So 50% you can then times 30%. That's how much more explosion damage you get if you equip yourself with a SOJ. There is a 4% on my Unity, so that 4% also apply to the explosion. And the 12% additional damage taken, the fresh is weak, will also apply as well. That is why I say when you go into a pack, you want to apply the explosion, the exploding pump on the main guy, and also the rest of the blue elite if it's a blue elite, or if it's a yellow pack, then you're going to apply the explosion, the exploding pump on the champion, because that champion will then take 12% more explosion damage. So that's 50% times 12% times 30% there, and the mantra also work. So the mantra, the 48%, you can also apply that. So if you want to perfect your speed pump build, remember to press your mantra the very last seconds when they are about to explode. If you press it the very last moment, within that 3 seconds, if you kill that pack is then the explosion will be 48% more. If you times all this percentage together, you will get 96%, or close to 96%. So that is increasing your explosion damage all the way from 50% to 90%. And that's a lot. So by using this mechanic, you will increase your explosion damage. And that is tip number 3. If you can perfect the pump build, it's going to be powerful. The last tip I have for the speed pump build is the movement speed. There's a movement speed on the Wheel of 100 Fists. It's not much, it's 3 seconds, or it's 5 seconds. And if I go into any area, and my movement speed at the moment is 24%. If I attack with the Wheel of 100 Fists, my movement speed is then going to jump to 39%. It will last for 5 seconds. It's not much, but it's bonus. So what you do is, when you're almost done with the pack, make sure you press your Wheel of 100 Fists to gain that movement speed bonus. It will last for 5 seconds, but during that 5 seconds, you're going to have the extra movement speed. So this is a pack. Well, this is a whole bunch of white monster. I'm going to kill. I finish. My Wheel of 100 Fists is there. So I'm moving with additional movement speed. So always finish the monster, either it's a pack or a whole group of white monster, with your Wheel of 100 Fists attack to gain that movement speed bonus. So I'm now moving with the additional movement speed. It only lasts for 5 seconds, but it's there, and it's always good to have a bit more movement speed between the packs or between the white mobs. So again, this is the skill I use. You can try it. The combination strike is going to buff your DPS to a lot, and when you can bust out a lot of damage to a single target, the explosion from the exploding pump then is going to be very powerful. And by using the exploding pump correctly, you can bust out a lot of damage. So thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions, you can feel free to pop into my channel to ask. And I'll see you guys around.